Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Piyush Agarwal and in this video we are going to continue with our bot. In the previous episode you saw that we had completed the init state, get transaction state and process transaction state. So our bot is completely over, right? But the most important part is still left, that is testing phase. Okay, after that only we will be able to end it. So for testing purpose, like what we need, we are creating a data. In the process all our fee headers have been extracted successfully. We have not yet tested that. Okay, theoretically it's done. So we are going to test by saving that data in an Excel file and see how it goes. So I will use right range. I'm using a workbook path activity instead of Excel because it doesn't require any Excel application scope. Now let's write the path to be output.xlsx and data table. Data table I need to get from the main file. From main, I guess its name is output data. So I would need to create an argument in this table that I have already created in output data in the direction in. Okay. Now if I go to main and click on import arguments, it is already parameterized. Okay, if it's not, like if it's just empty over here, just write output data in place of that. Cool. Now let's last thing over here, I just write in output data and click on add headers. Okay, and let's write it testing output data, saving in Excel. And over here I will add an argument. mm, Processed data table. Okay, let's run it from the main and see what happens. So init all settings was run, kill all process done. It's opening applications, processing transaction number 1. Oh, we have got so many errors, like it says there is no dictionary available. Okay, the key is not available in the dictionary. So what is our key value over here? Like we will need to check it. Now let's, okay, cool, we will debug it. First let's check our if the keys dictionary in dictionary are proper or not. So this is an immediate panel in which we can check any variables data value. Okay, so in fee dictionary dot keys, yeah, just enter. So this is giving me a collection which says that these are the keys present in the dictionary. This should be right. Okay, but still we are getting some error. So let's check. The fee value contains our value. Okay, and item we won't be able to check as it's a variable over here. Let me try once. Yeah, we won't be able to check. So let's stop and see what's the issue that is going on. We know that keys are there and this should work, but some kind of error is coming, so we will check what value this is giving to us. Okay, and just write line and again run from main. Hmm, mhm. Okay, so it is giving hostel only, but it says that it's not present. Let's check. This is HOSTEL. Okay, so for hostel it is not giving us an error, but second time when it ran, it gave us a space. Okay, instead of some key like bus or tuition. So maybe there is some kind of space at 0 index position. So what we can do, before splitting, we will just use a trim keyword. Trim will remove any extra space from front and end of the string. Okay, Since it's giving at zero index blank keyword, that means the value is somewhat like this string bus, something like this. The item contains the value bus or whatever is there, some value 23 is. So by using trim, what we are doing, we are removing this space and this space. Okay, now let's check this one. We have done trim also. Now again we will process it from the starting. Okay, the bot execution is started. Okay, now this time it worked for hostel, tuition, admission is set, the key is not available. Yeah, because we have not set the admission, it was not defined to us in starting the at the time of question. Okay, for other, okay, the key is not available. Other, the key is not available. Okay, alumni and utility. For utility, it didn't give us a key not available error. It worked. Okay, so it's working fine. But now it's giving us an error that input array is longer than the number of columns in this table. So now there again, we when we solve the error for the dictionary, now we are getting some error for the data table. So let's check what is actually inside the data table. So for that, I will use an output data table over here. Let's in input, we will just give IO output data, and in text, we will just create a temp variable that can be deleted. Okay, is this temp variable? Oh, yeah, okay, I might have created earlier. Let's just select this temp. This is a string variable, and output data table activity is used to convert the data table into a message. Okay, and over here, one thing I will just fix, remove this sequence is not required as there is just one activity. And now a message box. In this I will use temp, and let's see from the beginning what's the issue going on. Okay, so instead of a data table, it's giving some the path to the data table. So maybe there is some issue with our generate data table activity. We might not have properly used that. Let's go to init all applications and check. In this, we are giving the path to the file. As if we just see, it says specifies the source of the unstructured data that is to be converted into a table. Maybe instead of the path to the file, it requires the specific text only. So what I would say, instead of using two activities, I can just use different one, like there is read CSV activity for us. We will use this. I will copy this, that is required, add a notation. Okay, and the file path we can get it from here, the in config one. Okay, wait, the file path is in config, and the key is present in a dictionary like in the config. So let's open it. So this will be our key. Okay, to string, and I will just assign it to output data. It has headers, delimiter is comma. If selects and fields are surrounded by quotes, the quotes are also copied. Okay, no issues. And let's disable it. more things that we need to do is that we need to convert this from txt to csv. So for that, let's open the file, then data input, and I will just change the format to csv. Let's open it. Over here, instead of 0, let me just give it 1.01, because 0 can be integer also, but 1.01 would be a decimal value. Okay, now what else we are left with? We will just close it, save it. Let's test again what is going on with the process. I will just run it. Could not find the file. Oh, we forgot to change the path in the config. Instead of txt, it should be csv now. So I will just go here, change it, save, and again main and run debug. Okay, this time it's giving me values like serial number, some gem, and this time it has some data table, and it didn't stop. So it has added the data also. Again click on OK. This time it has added the data, like we can see from here, to serial number, registration number, the name, and this I guess the father's name, the admission, phone number, email, and the data as well. Cool. But over here some error has come. Set transaction status XAML failed, processing transaction number 1. And again it was processing transaction number 1. First, this is the retry mechanism that is occurring. When processed transaction number was processed, it found that some error occurred. So it, instead of stopping the bot, giving error, that's how where RE framework came into action. And it again, like this is a business process. This is a business error. It tried to first retry that particular transaction, and again it's working. Okay, but again if I click on OK, the same error would come because we have not resolved it. Okay, so I will just stop it and see what is the error in the set transaction status.xaml. So the transaction status is set in the process transaction state. Basically it's set in two areas. First in get transaction data, where the queue item value is changed from added new to in process, and then in process transaction, after completing the process, it moves from in process to either success, fail, or retry. Okay, now let's check the set transaction status XAML, open workflow. So okay, there is some error in this, in system exception. Let's go inside. We have not removed this transaction log field, and that is why the error is coming. So inside this there is some collection. Okay, so these are generally used when we are working with orchestrator. We won't be require them now. So I can, what I can do, I will just remove it, and in close all applications it requires in output data. Okay, so do I have value over here right now? So for this one we will have to again like create an argument, call in output data, and convert it to system.data table, add an annotation, processed output data. Okay, and in this one I will just write again in output data. Cool. Now if I go back to main and click on import arguments, let's check. Over here also transaction field 1 is proper. We just need to add this output data. Okay, now let's again try if we find any other errors for in the project. So the bot has started processing transaction number 1. Okay, this time it went to processing transaction number 2. Cool, now it's working, processing transaction number 3. And you can see first the default data that we have set, then the first entry from the Excel, then the second entry from the Excel. So this means our bot is working fine now. Okay, so what we can do, we will remove this testing part that we have done. The output data table is not required, temp is not required. We will remove it from the variables panel also. Let's see where it is, and I will just delete it. Cool. Now what else we have set? This one is also not required, that was for testing purpose. And okay, now we will go to end process. I guess I have opened it, not okay. And over here we have set this value. Cool. Now let's test it. What I believe that now it should at least like give us an output file with the required data. Okay, so let me just close all these. Mm, Go back and click on debug. Let's see what happens. Then before ending, we will also add some log field so that in the output panel, we would be able to know where the pot is, how much is being processed. Okay, right now it's not required. This is working just fine. We know that there are some keys which are not present in the dictionary, like we have not defined. We can do that because our main aim was that we can add as many number of columns or dictionary. Okay, so it run successfully. Let's check if it has created as an output data. Here the output.xlsx is ready, and if we can see, we have got all the values that were required. Okay, Shilpi, Shekhawat, Aman, Anand 2 times. Cool. This is what we have, but we don't need this first row. This thing we want to remove. And for this serial number, it went to 2, but it should come as 1. Hmm. That also we need to check, because if we go to our input file, input.xlsx, and check over here, it has not operated anything on Sahil Jain, the first entry. Okay, so let's check why it didn't do that. That is also a bug in our project, and we will remove this row also. So to remove the row first, what we will do, we will go to init all applications. Now let's remove this since this is working just fine. Read output data table format, and I will use an assign activity over here. Let's assign output data equals to output data dot clone. So the function of clone feature is it will just copy the structure of the data table inside the different data table. So it's just like we are removing the data from it. So if anyone knows MySQL or SQL, it would be same as doing truncate over a data table. Or I guess we have some feature of that also. Let me check. clear data table. I guess that's what we need. There's a special table of all data. Yeah. Instead, we can use this also. That would be more better. Output data. Clear data table. Clear the output data table. Okay. Now we need to check why the first row is not being processed. Okay. So for that, let's go over here. The transaction number is initiating from one value. Okay, but it should work from zero because Excel values are like they are index zero based indexing is there. So first time, like instead of transaction number one, it should go for transaction number zero. That will lead to getting fetching the zeroth index row, the first row for us. Okay, another error, any other errors left? I guess not. So we will just change this also, like remove the output.xlsx from here, and let's rerun the bot. Now it's going on. We have few the keys not available. Cool. We should, I guess, add things like which key is not available over here. Okay, we will add that. But right till now, there is no error. It's not even retrying anything. For processing transaction number 8, all the keys were present in the dictionary. So it was awesome. Now bot has run successfully. Let's just go to file and open the output.xlsx. Let's check. Okay, this time it has fetched the data very properly. Okay, we have got a bus, hostel, tuition, TV, utility, and gym. All the values are present with us. We need one more column called total. Okay, so we will add that, and we will change the column names to something which looks very good in business process, and we need to like instead of getting two values, we need to merge this into one. Once, let's just check if the data is being fetched properly or not. I will just open the input file also and check for one or two. Like if we go for Sahil Jain, for hostel there is 54,000. Cool. For tuition there is 24375, but there is zero in tuition. Okay. So it has not, that means it has not fetched the value for tuition. Admission and other and alumni we have not kept, but for utility also there is zero. So there is still some bugs that we need to filter out. Why it didn't fetch those values and add it in the dictionary? Okay, so let's check it out. Let me just remove this, and what we will add, we will go to process, and over here, instead of just writing that, okay, item dot split, what we can do one thing, that instead of just using the expression, I will create a variable for us, and in this we will just copy this value, copy it over here, and call it fee key. Okay, key for the dictionary. Now let's go over here. We have to add value, add annotation fee value. This is a fee value got through rejects expression. and this one is key of dictionary to store the value. Okay, item dot split to lower. Okay, now instead of this contains fee key. Similarly over here, let's add this. Okay, you see over here we forgot to add the trim function. That's why it got like no values were there. So now fee key over here. Whenever we have some big expressions, it's better to use some variable. That would be that way we won't have to face such silly mistakes. Now over here also we will just add our fee key. Okay, save. And what else was required? Some values were not coming and we need to change the data tables name. That we will do at the end. Now let's just debug. Now it says the admission, other and alumni are not there. Okay, admission, other alumni are not there. Cool. I believe this time we should at least get all the values. Awesome. We have got the values, the hostel fee, tuition fee, and utility fee. Great, guys. We have almost like achieved our goal. Now, what else are left? We need to change the column names and we need to fetch like merge this data. So I will just start with changing the column names first. To change the column names, what we are going to do, we will get another sequence. Okay, what I will do, let's go to end process and open the application. Let's remove it and add a sequence over here. And write changing the column names, and what I am going to use is, let me think it properly. We want it to be something dynamic such that the column names can be different or user can easily change or alter them. We don't always need to come over here or hard code something. So to change the column names, the idea is simple. You see, we just have to get it over here in the sign activity. Inside this in output data dot columns, then we have to define that name as string, in which column name we want to change. For example, it's serial number, and provide the another string which we want it to be, how we want it to be look like. System dot value of type string cannot be converted. Okay, wait, serial number dot to string. I am doing something wrong, let me check. Okay, so this, okay, this is just a typo. There was something, let me just clear it. And again we will add in output data dot columns, the column name that we want to change, like serial number dot column name, and assign a string to it, which the type of data where we want it to the column name to be. Now, but I don't want, this is a kind of iterative work. Okay, so we should get this through something like hmm, let's see, in the input table we are using this format only for our data, and from this we want matching the column value from host. Okay, what we can do, I guess we don't need it to be same as the data table as of now. Why? Because in the process, if we go to add required data, we have to already assign the particular value, okay, in a format, static format, that this is the first column, this is the second column. So what we will do, we will go over here and just change this one. Let's check our output data, the documentation. So we will just for once copy this, copy and paste. Okay, and grand total is not required as of now. Next, I guess we are done. We will just check if bot is working just fine. I will just use again the right range. Workbook activity, workbook path would be through our in config, no, not required for config. Config we will use when we are finally in, like this is the final testing part we are doing. And in the next video, we will be completing our bot by removing the similar item values present in the Excel file, and be ready for that. That is like the a new thing that you will learn, something different and effective, that are the link queries that we are going to use. Okay, so let it be complete. Okay, it's I guess almost complete. The process transaction finally completed. It completed in just 24 seconds, and that is also in the debug mode. So when we will run it in the run mode, it will be so much faster. So now this time the values we have got properly: father name, program, contact number, gym fee. For some reason there is some column 1 is there, that we can check why that is coming up over here. No issues. So that's it guys for this video. In the next we will complete the bot, finalize the project. What we are left with is to just change this, instead of two rows it should come in the single row, and rest we are done. See you guys. Hope you like the video. Do like, share, comment and subscribe, and let me know if helped you this video, and if anyone feels like we can improve this more, do contact me. Okay guys, bye.